Hey YouTube viewers, Herc fans, this is just a year in review, 2022. I know I do a lot of videos where I'm talking in the vehicle, but I wanted to do this type of format. Not really a Q&A, but just kind of going over the past season, Wasp season, how it was 2022. So first of all, thanks to the loyal viewers of Herc 1120. I appreciate that. My channel, I think it's doing okay. Hasn't had any growth though. I've been stuck at in the 40,000 some subs for probably about a year and a half now. So I'd like to see. I was hoping to break 50,000 this year, but it doesn't look like that happened. I know there's a lot more channels now doing these types of removals. Kind of neat that I was one of the first to make it popular on YouTube. So I understand how the algorithm kind of changes around. So my videos might not be as promoted anymore, but it's fickle thing. It can be. But yeah, I appreciate the views. So thank you all for that. I found 2022 the nests generally were smaller. I didn't see any air and area this year, whereas 2021 I think I found, off the top of my head, I think about at least four air and area nests, and I was able to collect at least. Out of those, actually, I collected probably about 4 last year, and so there's probably about 6 or 7 that I knew of. So this year, 2022, was not a good year for the aerial yellow jacket. They were smaller too in general. I noticed the bald-faced hornet nests were smaller. It was a good year for the European hornet. That's a good thing, at least for that. I haven't removed a whole lot of European hornet nests, but last year they were definitely. This year there are definitely more of them. With the business, so the removal business is just a side job for me. It's what I say. I even joke around with my. I don't use this. This is my riffraff job. It's my after work job. I enjoy doing it. It started out as a hobby. It became a business. Became the Wasp Expert LLC. But yeah, I want to do it as long as I'm happy doing it. Myself out with it because I work actually as an administrator at a school right now. That can be long hours and stressful. You have to deal with a lot of different situations with both with the students and with staff. A lot of moving pieces with that. I'd say that's even more stressful in some ways than dealing with the Wasp. I mean, the Wasp, it's like you put a suit on, you deal with them, you got to deal with customers too in the removal business, of course. But generally, it's positive feedback from the customers. Some customers are obviously more, some of them can be, pain in the ass, for lack of a better word. But, you're dealing with people, and you have to learn how to work with all different types of people with any service company. Be it we work at an administrator in a school, a teacher, pest control, it's all interacting with people. So what else? So yeah, I had a new job working longer hours with that, learning that, so I had to turn a lot of removals down. I gave referrals. I always give referrals when I can, because then those individuals, help me out too. So it's a win-win situation. I give them business, and then they help me out. The best, I feel like with my channel, the videos that I get the most views is probably the bald-faced hornet's nest, with when I'm holding the shot back up to the entrance of a nest, and then just vacuuming out the hornets. I have an older video. I'm going to put that up probably in December sometime. It was from August. I thought it was a good vacuuming video. So that's one from this year that you'll be seeing a little bit later. I wanted to hold off on that one. So I'm a sole proprietor. If anybody wants to get into this business, I think I've pretty much maxed out my potential. I mean, I've gotten close to 100 calls in a week once, or maybe even more than that. Like August, it can be off the chart. Obviously more than what I can do with working another job. And even if I wasn't, I wouldn't want to do that much. That's a lot of driving around, at least that I think. So being a sole proprietor, I feel like I've peaked out with what I can do. I mean, I know my limits. I know how many jobs I want to take on. So if anybody else is thinking about breaking into this, eventually as a sole proprietor, it's the Wasp Expert LLC is my company. LLC, I was basically it is an LLC, but it's a sole proprietorship LLC. But if you want to grow your business, you're going to actually have to hire more people. So I'm at a point now where I shouldn't be the guy always going out in the truck. I want to have, if I wanted to really grow the business and do this like more full time, my advice is once you get to the point where I got and maybe some others have gotten to, and I know some other guys in pest control, they have, 2 or 3 or more technicians doing the job, so they can be in the office doing the bookkeeping, doing the business stuff, keeping track of equipment. Of course, they probably get out there on the road and, do a removal, here and there a few times a week, or however much they want to do, but they're going to be generally running the business and not, because when you're running around doing the removals, you can't be taking the calls and keeping track of all that stuff. So you definitely want to hire some people if you're going to get to the point where I think I've gotten, whereas I kind of maxed out. So, but if I want to go beyond that, I'm going to have to hire people, as I said. What do you guys want to see? What types of videos do you like? I feel like the bald-faced hornet's nest, I get a lot of those, especially early in the season, even later in the year. But even early, it's, early in the year, they're great to film. It's a lot of fun filming those. So that's probably the favorite types of videos I like making with the maculata bald-faced nest, with the vacuum doing those. I also like structural nest removals, although they're a little bit more tricky. A lot of times I have to really screen those, at least with me, because sometimes we don't know where the nest is, and I'm generally hesitant to look for a nest or cut open somebody's wall if I don't know exactly where it is, so I always explain to them on the phone. If you can't hear them in the wall and there's no damage, or if we don't know where the nest is, I generally refer those out. That's just me. I mean, other guys might take a different approach, but I don't use any chemicals. I'm not licensed to use any dust or powders or anything like that, so I could get in a lot of trouble if I did, so I don't mess around with that. So with my method, I have to be kind of picky with the structural nests that I do. But when I do get a huge one, like those German yellow jackets, we all know they build the biggest nests, so it's always a treat to get those. So if somebody calls me like, oh, I have an outbuilding or whatever, and we haven't been in it for however long, and it's like September or October, and the nest is huge, I'm all about getting my video camera out and driving out to do one of those. So that's always something I enjoy. And so basically, what do you guys want to view? What do you guys want to see next year for the future? Like I said, I changed jobs this July, so I was kind of learning a new job as the wasp season was getting going. So my energy wasn't so much on removals this year, and I didn't think a lot of. I think I put out a fair amount of videos, but a lot of the removals I did, I didn't think were that great to film. It just was difficult angles or. So I tried to put up the ones that I thought turned out good, but then of course I think I almost put out too much. So maybe I should be picky because I don't think I'd rather just do the removal, filming, and I try to make some colorful commentary and then the removals. And then I'm glad that some people enjoy it and other people, they say it sucks. That's your opinion, and that's fine. It's a free country, so I generally don't take offense to that if you feel like it does. I mean, I watch videos on YouTube that I think suck too, and I generally don't comment on that, but if somebody feels like they need to say that, it's up to you. It's a free country. What else? So for next year, basically, I won't be. I'll still be in the job, but I won't be new to the job. So I'll maybe focus more on doing more removals and driving around. I did a lot of local stuff this year. I didn't drive a whole lot. I usually stayed within 20 to 30 minutes of my home. So I didn't take on a lot of what could have been more interesting ones. But next year might be different. So next year's probably going to be the same. We'll just see if the nests are larger next year. So what else? That's pretty much it. That's just my year in review. I might do a nest collection video again. I did obtain some new ones. I have, of course, the old ones that I filmed. I think I did a video last November, December So I still have most of those nests. Actually, a mouse or something got to one of them that was open. I had about a 12-inch area nest that a mouse or something ate. That was the only one that I lost. But I gained a lot more, and I got those tree pruners, so I also made videos of nest collecting. I know some people probably enjoyed seeing those, not my typical type video, but I kind of wanted to film some of those of me with the pruners getting a nest down. Other than that, that's just my life with the Wasp. I do other things. I could get it out. I mean, I know you guys probably see some of the mountain biking videos, but I have a life outside of the Wasp. So that's about it. Feel free to comment. Let me know what types of videos you want to see, any suggestions, whatever. Thanks, and yeah, enjoy your Thanksgiving tomorrow. All right, peace.